The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The unit team of Bongbong Marcos Jr. and Sara Duterte has brought their campaign down south to the Davao region. Let's get the details from Dale De Vera, who joins us live from Davao City. Hi, Dale. What's the latest?
Sean, the Marcos-Duterte tandem takes on the Davao Region, a known bailiwick of the Dutertes, for their Mindanao campaign leg. The tandem's first stop is in Davao del Norte, where their gubernatorial bet is board member Roy Catalan, who is going against incumbent Governor Edwin Jubahib. This is also the bailiwick of Partido Reforma President Pantaleon Alvarez, who withdrew support for Senator Ping Lacson to back the bid of Leni Robredo. When Marcos Jr. was asked how he will try to win votes in the province, he said that the crowd understands the message of unity, which is important. After Davao del Norte, the tandem went to Davao de Oro, where the incumbent officials are members of Sara Duterte's local party, Hugpong ng Pagbabago. Their last stop will be Davao del Sur, another bailiwick of the Dutertes. The Davao region is important for candidates as it has around 3.2 million registered voters. Recall that Marcos Jr. lost in the region in 2016 when he ran as vice president. Sean, the Marcos camp will continue to campaign in Davao Region despite it being the bailiwick of the Dutertes and his wide lead in Mindanao based on surveys. Aside from that, a number of officials in Mindanao have already expressed support for Robredo, Sara, or Rosa tandem. Sean?
Thank you so much for those updates. Dale De Vera reporting to us live from Davao City. Meanwhile, Vice President Leni Robredo visited the islands of Samar and Leyte to seal more alliances with local leaders. Gerard De La Peña with that report.
These posters line up the street in southern Leyte. It bears messages linking Vice President Leni Robredo to the communist movement. This has long been an accusation against her camp since campaign began. And it carries on here. After all, she's visiting the territory of a known rival. In fact, the VP acknowledged the difficulty of organizing a rally in the Eastern Visayan province.
Alam ko po na dito sa inyo, hindi ganon kadali mag-organize. Kaya nga po, sobrang nakakataba ng puso na kahit mahirap gumalaw, nandito pa din kayo.
Having lost in the 2016 elections in the Romualdez Marcos bailiwick, thousands of the VP supporters showed up at the government center of Palo for the campaign. Being one of the hardest hit areas by typhoons Dante and Odette, Leyte has received support from the office of the Vice President. This, Robredo said, is a receipt of how she and her team had shown up in the most difficult of times.
Ang magiging sukatan po natin kung talagang aasikasuhin kayo, minamahal kayo, kung nung walang eleksyon, nagpapakita sa inyo na bawat magsasabi na mahal nila yung mahihirap, bawat magsasabi na ayaw nila ng korupsyon, hingian po natin ng resibo.
Besides the People's Campaign in Palo, Robredo also spoke before a crowd in Biliran and Ormoc. Another grand rally meanwhile was held by the beach in Eastern Samar. Over 20 mayors in the province, along with Provincial Governor Ben Evardone, have agreed to support the candidacy of Robredo. For News 5, Gerard De La Peña, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. A military historian says that China has been constantly intruding on the country's exclusive economic zone. Jose Custodio told The Big Story that there were two separate instances of Chinese survey ships entering Philippine waters in the last 2 months. Custodio also said that it is easier for China to do so because of their artificial islands within our EEZ.
They are intruding 24/7. The Chinese have always been like that in terms of their unprofessional conduct in sea. No, in fact, there were instances that they would ram the coast guards or vessels of other states.
Custodio also warned about China taking advantage of the Ukraine and Russia conflict to push their aggression further in the West Philippine Sea.
The Chinese might be betting on the fact that the world is so riveted on what's going on in Ukraine that they might push the aggressive envelope here in the West Philippine Sea area, to their advantage. So we have to watch out for that.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The MMDA is proposing new number coding schemes in a bid to curb heavy traffic in Metro Manila. These schemes include the odd-even number restrictions while providing a mid-week break. Phivolcs logs 4 volcanic tremors, which lasted for up to 5 minutes at the Taal Volcano in the past 24 hours. The volcano remains under alert level 3 or magmatic unrest, which means that succeeding eruptions are very much possible. And the United Nations says that over 3.9 million Ukrainians have now left the country due to Russia's invasion. In addition to that, close to 200,000 non-Ukrainians living, studying, or working in the country have also fled. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.
It can go also another way na chance niya to rectify. Yeah, what his family is.